Hello, everyone out there in Rumble, X, and YouTube land. Welcome back to Diego Knows. Of course, I'm Diego, and today we are going to talk some more about Swingers. That's right, Swingers from 1996. I know you love that movie. If you're still watching these videos I made, okay, what are we at? Number 12 now? If you're watching these videos, okay, you're a fan. You're a fan of Swingers, okay? You're my people, okay? It's a great movie. It's a wonderful movie. It doesn't get enough attention, especially these days, where you're not allowed to do anything masculine today. Thank God that's starting to change, but it's a slow change. Okay, it's like one day you woke up and all of a sudden, it's like, you're bad, a bad person just for waking up with a penis. It's like, what the hell? When did that happen? When did all of a sudden, I owe society something now because I was born with a penis? Like, when the hell did that happen? Okay, well, it's been slowly happening for a while, over the past decade or so. Longer than that actually, but it really like cranked up, like, in the last decade. And now, thank God, now it's starting to come to a close. Okay, slowly. I mean, it didn't just show up overnight, really. I mean, I said that's what it felt like, but no, it's been slowly creeping in. Okay, this misandry in the media has been slowly creeping in. Okay, until one day it just boom, is right in your face, and that's just the way things are. And no, we rejected it, and now it's starting to change a little bit. Thank God. Thank God. I love watching our culture shift back to traditional norms. It's a wonderful thing. And now I realize how much I took for granted growing up. When I was growing up, we were taught that it's a man's job to make the money in the family, to support the family, and he also has to provide love and affection for his kids and stuff like that too. Okay, but he's the one that has to be the supporter, the earner. Okay, and his wife is there to support him in that. Okay, and she's the nurturer. She takes care of the kids. She might have a little side job, where she makes a little bit of money because it's something she loves to do. Okay, but the main breadwinner is the guy. Okay, and and he's got all these responsibilities. Okay, he's the one that has to he's the one that has to bust his ass at work every day to provide for his family. Okay, and of course the wife has her own responsibilities too. I was raised to believe that that's a good thing. That's a good thing. That's fine. Okay, now when I was growing up, feminism had already taken over the media, had already taken over culture. So, you never saw the housewife, okay? I'm old enough. We didn't have housewives when I was growing up. But that's so dated. That's like the 1950s and maybe like some of the 60s, okay? In the 70s and 80s, there were no housewives anymore, okay? I mean, like, you've seen probably All in the Family, and that was early 70s. Okay, that was like the end of the housewife era. Okay, there weren't any housewives after that. Okay, that's pretty much gone. All women got careers, got jobs. Okay, started doing stuff. Okay, they weren't just sitting at home taking care of the kids, watching soap operas anymore. That era was long gone. It was already gone when I was a kid. Okay, you think my mom watched soap operas, but yeah, she came. We had to tape them for her. And when mom came home from work, then she watched her soap operas. Okay, she didn't watch it during the day because she was fucking working. Okay, like most women were, okay, are today, okay? So all that stuff has been changed, okay? And it really bothers me that a lot of the modern media talks to us as if it's still that way. As if, there's like an army, a legion of women that are chained to their fucking kitchen. And I mean, like, that's not true. It hasn't been true for decades, but yet they keep spouting this stuff like, if you're a stay-at-home wife, or a mother, then you're a slave. Your husband owns you. That's not something to be proud of. Like staying home and raising your kids, taking care of your babies, that's like something to be ashamed of. You should be out there in the career world getting paid as much, if not more, than a man. You know what I mean? So all that has changed, okay? And because the media is so dominated with this stuff, I mean, they've been spouting feminism. They've been keeping that thing alive for 50 plus years now, okay? That men are the patriarchy. We're holding down women, all that kind of crap, which we know is not true. I mean, you'd never know that if all you did was watch TV shows and movies. Okay, but in real life, yes, there's exceptions, but for the most part, I mean, a woman can do anything a guy can do. For the most part, I mean, maybe not physically, okay, but if it's a job that involves just intellect alone, okay, problem-solving skills, okay, as long as it's not physicality involved, then there's nothing stopping a woman from having the same job that a guy has. Okay, that's bullshit. All right. And no one believes that. Okay. Yeah, we keep hearing that women are being oppressed and they're being, persecuted and they're being, beaten down literally and metaphorically. And that's just not true. Okay. Of course, there's exceptions, but for the most part, guys we don't wake up thinking, how am I going to oppress women today? Nobody does that. Nobody does that. Of course, there's assholes. There's guys that treat women like shit. There's women that treat men like shit, but we're not allowed to talk about them, are we? We're not allowed to talk about them, are we? Right? Right? Okay. You see what I mean? So, and it's the hypocrisy that I can't stand. Okay. This movie Swingers came out in 1996. All right. And there was obviously there was feminism back then. There was boss bitches back then too and stuff. Okay. But it wasn't so in your face as it is today. Okay. Back then when I was growing up, when women were being mistreated, when there were legitimate cases of misogyny, okay, that was called out. It was called out by the women, and it was also called out by men, by other men. Okay, like when I was a kid, we knew damn well that you don't ever hit a woman. Like, you see a guy hitting a woman, that guy is in the wrong. He's in the wrong. Okay, we were raised that way. Okay, so if we saw it, we did something about it. Okay, that's the way I was raised. Okay, that's the way I raised my son too. Okay, but that doesn't mean that it's okay for a woman to hit a man either. You see, that's the part you're never taught. Okay, you just go with it. If a woman hits you, boo, that's okay, or it's funny. It's fun. It's a joke. It's not a joke. It's not a joke, and that's not misogyny either. You know why? Because nobody should be hitting anybody. Nobody should be hitting anybody. If you're a woman, I'm not allowed to hit you, and you're not allowed to hit me either. You're not allowed to hit me either. Oh my God, right? I mean, how many times have you seen a movie where the guy says something mean or something and the woman fucking hits him across the face? How would you like it if a guy did that? How would you like it if you insulted a man and the man slapped you across the face? Not enough to put you in the hospital, but enough to let you know, don't fucking do that again, right? You see what I mean? But yet it's okay for a woman to do that. That's not fair. That's not fair. Okay, men are not your punching bags, ladies. Okay, we're not there, okay, to hit us because you know that we're not going to hit you back. Okay, no, nobody should be hitting anybody. And that's the truth. Men shouldn't be hitting women shouldn't be hitting men. The only exception to that is self-defense. If it's self-defense, by God, you got to do what you got to do. Okay, you got to do what you got to do. All right? But other than self-defense, there's no reason for anybody to be hitting anybody. Okay? And that's the kind of thing you don't see in movies. You don't see, though. You don't ever see it. You always see guys getting getting kicked in the nuts by a woman, and that's considered funny. And I'm not talking about the guy like was making an inappropriate advances on her. No, I'm talking like he's just standing there, so she does it, and everybody laughs. Ha 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 ha. It's funny. No, it's not funny. It's not funny to assault men like that. It's not funny. It's not. Okay. The one I'm thinking about right now is My Best Friend's Wedding. That chick flick with Julia Roberts. And Dennis Quaid played her husband, and she caught him cheating on her. So she leaves him, takes the kid, goes to live with her mom or her dad. And she's got a sister who's this ultra fucking bitchy feminist played by Kira Sedgwick. All right. And Dennis Quaid feels bad about the affair he had. He's going to try to make up to his wife, try to get back with her. And he goes to visit her at her mom's house. And of course, Julia Roberts' sister, Kira Sedgwick, answers the door and says, like, is what's her name home? She's like, yeah, come on. And as soon as he starts walking up the stairs, she fucking kicks him in the nuts. Oh, like completely unprovoked. Now I understand she doesn't like him. I mean, he did fuck over her sister. Okay, but that's not her place to fucking hit him for that. And look at what if it was the other way around? Okay, what if a guy found his wife fucking another guy and he goes to hang out at his brother's house to get away from her, to do the right thing and let her keep the house and stay at the house while he lives with his brother. And then she feels bad and she comes to visit him, but his brother answers the door and she says, what's his name home? And he's like, yeah, come on. And then he just fucking hits her across the face. Yeah. Do you think anybody would laugh at that? Do you think that'd be a funny movie? Do you think that'd be in a rom-com? Do you think so, huh? Do you think that's socially acceptable? Of course it's not. Of course it's not. Okay? And, and that's like, rules for thee, but not for me, right? No, bullshit. Nobody should be hitting anybody. Okay, and the reason I'm bringing all this kind of stuff up is I'm trying to point out to you that we knew back then that it was wrong. Okay, that it's wrong for people to hit each other. Okay, it's wrong for people to mistreat each other. And it doesn't matter what sex you are. Okay, it's wrong for men to mistreat women, but it's also wrong for women to mistreat men. Okay, and there's not enough of that. Okay, this movie, Swingers, kind of broke the rules as far as that. They decided to talk about something that nobody was talking about. I mean, it's easy money. I mean, the money is right there on the table, but nobody wants to grab it because they're afraid. They're so afraid. No big budget movie wants to, no big budget studio wants to do a movie made by a nobody that's about a guy trying to get over his ex-girl. Nobody wants to see that, despite the fact that these are movies that men need to see. God knows we have enough fucking movies of women trying to get over guys that broke their heart. God knows we got enough of that shit. But there's none for guys that are trying to get over a broken heart. There's none. There's none. Because first of all, men don't want to see those movies. They want to see those movies, but they can't because they don't make them. Because men are raised to believe that you're not supposed to cry about girls. You're not supposed to, you're supposed to be a man. All that stuff that women go through and that they complain about, they're crying about, okay? You need to be above that because you got to be the man. You can't let stuff like that bring you down because you're the man and she's the woman. And she's allowed to get emotional. She's allowed to talk shit about men. And she's allowed to fucking do all this kind of stuff and criticize men. She's allowed to do that because she's a woman. She has that right to do that. But you're a man. You can't criticize women. Okay? You can't cry over a girl because you're a man. That means you're not a man. If you see, that's what I'm talking about. And back in the 90s when this movie was made, that was a very big thing. That's the reason this movie got so many eyes drawn towards it. That's why it turned so many heads. It was talking about something that nobody else was talking about. Dating from a man's point of view, and I'm not talking like some fucking beta male, freaking Jason Bateman, Tim Spade, Michael J. Fox, Ben Stiller, Owen Wilson crap like that, okay? We've seen way too many of those, okay? The nerdy guy trying to get the hot girl. We've seen way too many of those. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about a man, an average guy, average income, average looks, average everything, just trying to, get out there. He's not a ladies' man. He's not some player, okay? Which is all these fucking rom-coms I'll ever deal with is the players, the top 0.001% of the single straight guys that are out there. Those are the only guys that these girls even consider going out with in these fucking rom-coms. And it's the same. And here it's different. Here it's like, okay, he's just an average guy. How does an average guy date? They don't make rom-coms about the average guy. It's all about the super fucking hot stud. And the quirky, professional, no kids, 30-something, early 30-something-year-old girl living in the city, who's quirky, and loves fashion, and is trying to get some fucking well-hung, ripped abs, 6'4", square-jawed stud, rich stud to fall in love with. Get the hell out of here. Get the hell out of here, okay? And you think fucking us watching fucking Avengers movies is stupid, ladies? Okay, you have no idea how stupid we think you are for watching that shit. At least we know Avengers is bullshit when we walk in the theater, okay? We don't walk out of there thinking that shit's gonna happen to us. That's the difference. Oh my God. You girls watch Sex and the City and you think all of a sudden fucking that your 45-year-old ass is gonna attract some fucking super good looking, fucking rich, charming, well-hung, ripped-ab, square-jawed, fucking billionaire, right? Okay, get the fuck out of here. That's the difference. That's the fucking difference right there, right? This movie doesn't deal with those things. This movie deals with the average guy. And we need movies like this, okay? We need movies that can help out men, okay? Because like I said, when it comes to our emotions, okay, there's nothing for us. There's nothing. Okay, as far as relations, there's a lot of emotions for other things like career, like in sports. Okay, there's lots of movies on that. Okay, Wall Street. That movie was about a man and his career mission. His determination to make it as a stockbroker. Becoming someone's protege, that kind of thing. Like sports, becoming Rocky. Rocky wrote the book on how you do a sports movie. Okay, a guy trying to accomplish something with his life. Okay, but none of these movies. They deal with relationships, but they don't deal with that as the focus of the movie. Okay, very few movies do that. Okay, and Swingers is one of those few movies, and that's why I'm glad it was made. I think this movie's helped out a lot of people. Okay, especially dealing with heartache, dealing with a breakup. Okay, there's no guidebook for that. Okay, you ever go to a bookstore? They still exist. Okay, like Barnes and Nobles, they still exist. You go over there. You look in the self-help section, and there's a whole, wall full of books for women on relationships. That kind of thing. Okay, there's none for men. None. Just like there's no movies for men about this stuff. That's why this is a chick flick for guys. That's why I want to talk about it, okay? Because it's realistic, okay? This is a peek into what it's like to be a man trying to date. We're not all fucking Prince Harrys, okay? We're not all fucking Harry Styles, okay? We're not all Justin Biebers. We're not Orlando Blooms, okay? Most of us are not that shit, okay? So quit putting us in that category, okay? Quit putting us there. Okay, all men are the same. No, we're not. Okay, the guys that fuck you over, or first of all, they're the guys that have what you want, number one. You don't want to date the average guy. You want to date the above average guy. Well, the above average guy is going to have options. Okay, who the fuck do you think you are that he's going to pick you out of all the others? You see what I mean? That's your fucking narcissism. That's your fucking ego, not his. Okay? You need to get back down to fucking earth. That's what I'm talking about, all right? And this movie deals with what it's like. Okay, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Okay, and I love the character of Mike Peters, played by Jon Favreau, who wrote the screenplay, because a lot of the things that he goes through is stuff that we've all gone through. Okay, I've gone through it. My guy friends have all gone through it. You know, it's very relatable. We know what it's like to call that girl and just make a fool of yourself. We know what it's like to make a joke and nobody laugh. We know what it's like to flirt with a girl and her just fucking roll her eyes at you. We know what it's like to talk to someone, an attractive girl, and the first thing that she says is like, "What kind of car you drive?" Wow, okay? You know, and I'm sick and fucking tired of all these women talking about how, you know, women don't care about how much money you have, okay? Bull fucking shit they don't. Bull fucking shit they don't. It's all about how you make me feel. Dude, he can't even make you feel shit unless, you're not even gonna give him a chance to make you feel nothing unless he's got the fucking kind of car that you want him to have. So don't give me that bullshit. Don't give me that bullshit. Okay, women are just as superficial as men can be. Just like us, we want good-looking women. We want a hot girl. I don't want to date some fucking chick with cellulite. Okay, I don't want to date some chick with saggy tits and shit. You know, I don't want a crow's feet. I don't want to date a girl like that. Why should I? Okay, I didn't let my fucking self go. Why would I date a woman who did? You see what I mean? And most guys are like that too, okay? Especially that top 0.01% that you all fantasize about and come to, okay? That's what they want. Are you ever gonna see a guy who's successful, okay, dating a fucking ugly woman? No, I mean Pierce Bronson, but that's it. But she didn't. But even his wife didn't start. His wife started off as a model, okay? She didn't always look like that. You see what I mean? And he's too old to fucking start, you know, to ditch her. And no. You see what I'm talking about? All right, let's get into the movie here. Okay, now where we left off last time, okay, is we had the whole pep talk speech between Rob, that's Ron Livingston's character, and Mike Peters, the main character. Okay, he basically told him, "Hey, listen, dude, you need to get over this bitch. Okay, I know you still love her. You broke up 6 months ago. Okay, but you know what? Fuck her. You got to get over her. It's gonna stop hurting eventually. Every day it's gonna hurt a little bit less, and then eventually it's not gonna hurt at all. You need to get on with your life. Okay." Because she's back in New York and you're here in LA. You came here to do something, okay? You know, you can't keep looking back. You've got to move on with your life. You've got to, okay? Because once you do that, once you wake up from this fucking depression you've been going through for 6 months, okay, you're gonna realize how beautiful it is out here and how positive and wonderful life really is. But you gotta let go of the past. So he basically gave him the pep talk that he needed to hear, which was a great pep talk, by the way. Watch my last video if you want to hear it again. All right. So it kind of gives Mike some confidence. So he decides to get up, quit feeling sorry for himself, quit fucking sitting around in his apartment, his bullshit, crappy little apartment, drinking his orange juice on the floor with his fucking dick in his hand, his other thumb up his ass. It's time to get up and fucking do something, right? So it inspires him to do that. So he does. He gets up, all right? The next scene here is he goes to Trent's place. Now, Trent is played by Vince Vaughn. Yeah, he's an alpha male, life of the party. He's a player, okay? He is that guy. Okay, he's the guy that flirts with women, okay, that loves to have a good time. He's always talking. He's the life of the party, you know. He is immature. I will give him that. He's very immature. You know, he wrestles around the floor, plays video games, he yells a lot and stuff, you know. But he's not a mean person. He's a very good person, okay? And he's very popular. He's very popular with women. He knows how to talk to women, okay? That gets a lot of guys to want to hang out with him, okay, including Mike. Including his roommate, Sue. Yes, there's a guy named Sue, okay, who wants to be like him as well, okay? Because Trent's the bomb, okay? He even calls himself that. I'm the bomb, you know? Which is cool. He's definitely not humble, okay? But what I like about Trent so much, besides his jokes and he knows how to tell a story and his personality, is I like how loyal he is to Mikey. how he treats Mikey with respect. He treats Mike with more respect than Mike treats himself. Now, in the real world, would a guy like this hang out with a Mike? Fuck no. Fuck no. Guys like this do not hang out with beta males. I'm sorry, they don't. Okay? They bully beta males. They fuck beta males' girlfriends. They do that. They don't hang out with them. They sure as hell don't give them pep talks. They don't try to boost their confidence. They don't try to get them laid. They don't try to do any of that stuff. Okay, but Trent is that kind of guy. He's a great friend. Very loyal. He doesn't even like it when his other friends make fun of Mike. He doesn't even like that. He calls out that bullshit too. Okay? Now, I don't understand why Trent and Mike would be friends, but for whatever reason, it works. It works, okay? And Mike has, besides him feeling sorry for himself, all the guy tell you has no idea how lucky he is to have friends like Trent. In his corner, no less. In his corner, okay? Most guys don't have that. Like I said, most beta males, okay, alpha males don't hang out with beta males in real life. They just don't, okay? Anyway, moving right along. So he goes to Trent's place, and all the guys are there, okay, including the House of Pain. Now, they were at a bar earlier in the movie called the Dresden in Hollywood, okay, and as they were leaving the bar, a group of guys, like, they look like gangbangers, they look like Latino gangbangers if these Latino gangbangers were all white, okay? Anyway, there's a little scuffle involved. They start taunting each other, okay, and Sue pulled out a 9mm that he had in his back pocket. Well, now it got serious, so that these guys, that they call a House of Pain because they look like a House of Pain, right? Jump around. Yeah, those guys, all right? They get in their car and they hightail out of there. Well, now these same guys are in Trent's apartment playing NHL hockey, okay? Playing a video game, okay? They're all out there on the remote, playing the fucking game, having a great time. So apparently that beef was squashed, okay? Thank God, all right? So Mike notices this, okay? That they're in there having a good time. Sue apologizes to Mike for what he said. Okay, when they were leaving after the guys fled from the altercation, Mike gave Sue shit for carrying a gun. He said, "What the hell you got a gun for? Tupac? Did you see Boys in the Hood? Now one of us is gonna get shot." All that great, and of course, Sue's trying to act like he's like an alpha male. He's like, "Man, at least we kept our rep, man. He called me a bitch, man. At least we kept our rep. You don't know what it's like. I grew up here. I grew up in LA, man. And then of course Trent's like, you grew up in Anaheim, you fucking pussy. You're a fucking suburbanite, okay? Yeah, but people still get car checked. That kind of shit. Anyway, so Mike tells him, what the fuck, dude? You're bringing a gun. That's stupid. Okay, you're living in a fantasy world, bringing a gun with you everywhere we go. That pisses off Sue because Sue, like Mike, is insecure and he wants to come across as an alpha male like Trent. So what does Sue do? He picks on Mike. He tells Mike, "Oh, you're just a pussy who can't get over his ex-girlfriend. You haven't even gotten laid since you moved here. Now I know you haven't gotten laid because you never fucking showed him about your ex-girlfriend, you fucking bitch." That kind of thing. And Mike's like, "Oh my God, you're so right." He walks away because he's a pussy. Okay, but even Trent stood up for Mike. Trent started yelling at Sue for saying, "How dare you say that shit to my friend, don't fucking talk to me. Don't fucking talk to me. I don't want to deal with you right now. You gonna talk to him that fucking way?" That kind of thing. So Trent is a loyal guy, right? Anyway, Sue is now apologizing for that. He's apologizing for calling out Mike's pussiness, all right? And Mike forgives him. He forgives him, And he even tells him, "Hey, that's the kick in the ass that I needed to hear. That's the tough love that I needed. Okay, and we're better friends for it." So that's cool. So at least these guys are capable of forgiving each other. They don't hold grudges and shit like that, which is awesome. Once again, I was raised Catholic, okay? My family, we hold grudges. We hold grudges that are decades old. It's insane, okay? These guys don't, all right? Anyway, so they're about to go out. They always usually meet at Trent's apartment. Then they get ready, have a few drinks, fuck around, eat some food, and then they go out to the clubs, okay? That's their usual weekend ritual, okay? Okay, so Trent's like, "Hey, it's been a couple of days. You should call that girl Nikki." And of course, if you've seen the movie, or you already know what happened with that, okay? Like I said, Mikey fucked that up completely. He blew up her answering machine, just kept calling her over and over again, acting like a fucking insecure idiot, and that turned her off. Of course it would. It would turn off anybody. And she told him to never fucking call me again. But he's too embarrassed by that to let the other guys know that. So he's just like, doesn't say anything. He just rolls his eyes when someone says that. Because we already know he fucked that up, all right? Okay. So they decide to go to this club in Hollywood called the Derby, okay? And there's a live band there that plays old swinging music. Yeah, swing dancing music, an old jazz band, okay? It's a real band. It's called Big Bad Voodoo Daddy, That's a real band. They play music from like the 30s and 40s, okay, but they make it like fun. Okay, it's swing dancing music, okay, which I love to swing dance. Everyone in this movie is dressed like it's kind of, well, there are a few exceptions, but our main characters are all dressed like it's the 1940s. They wear derbies, not derbies, they wear hats, they wear fedoras, okay, they wear bowling shirts, they all have short hair, okay, they're all clean shaven, okay, they wear shoes and pants and collared shirts, okay, all the characters do, they wear suits, okay, these are our main characters, like that's their loungewear. You know, they walk around dressed nice. All the guys do. And you're going to notice a lot of the women in this movie have hairstyles from the 1940s. You know, they're kind of dressed like the 1940s or 1930s, back when swing dancing was the thing. So it's not just the name of the movie, it's also that culture, that swing dancing culture, okay? So they go to this bar called the Derby, which is playing, like I said, the band is playing swing music, okay? Big band music, which is very catchy, very fun, you know? And Trent gets them to in through the back. I guess he knows the bouncer, that kind of shit, okay? So he gets them in through the back. They don't have to wait in line. They don't have to pay a cover charge, okay? I used to work in nightclubs myself. I know how true this is, all right? I used to manage lots of nightclubs, honestly, okay? And yes, you know, if you're cool with the staff, there's perks for you, okay? So that part is true, okay? You know, he gets them in through the back, okay, because he knows Tony or whatever. Okay, there's swing dancing music, which is really good. We're listening to a song called "It's You and Me and the Bottle Makes Three Tonight." You know, dun, 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 it's you and me and the bottle makes three tonight, like that. All right. And like I said, the band is called Big Bad Voodoo Daddy. It's a real band. They're friends with Jon Favreau. That's how they got into this movie. Okay, and they have a large booth. There's a large booth there, and that's where the guys sit. Okay, and it starts off with just the three guys. It's Mike, Trent, and Sue. And they just sit there. As the evening progresses, we get a little montage. There's more people, more women sitting at this table. Okay, so girls start sitting at this table with them. Because like I said, Trent's the life of the party, man. Okay, women are attracted to Trent. They want to sit where he's sitting. They want to talk to him. He's sitting there smoking. He's smoking cigarettes or he's smoking cigars. Everyone smokes in this movie. They're drinking. He's doing shots. He's drinking champagne. He's drinking fucking wine. Okay, beer, you name it, okay? So they're there. They're there to get fucked up and just have a good time, okay? So, okay, and they're well known at this place, obviously. The bartender, the bouncers let them right in through the back. So they got to walk through the kitchen and everything, right? They know the people that work there. So they're sitting there at the booth and girls are approaching their table, just sitting in there. So you got Mikey there who's not very self-assured. He's not very confident around these pretty girls. He's kind of like sitting there, but he won't make eye contact with them. He won't touch them. He won't ask them questions, nothing like that. And Trent's just like, hey, talking to everybody, that's the kind of thing. Even Sue's got a girl that's on his lap there, okay? And they're all sitting there together, okay? They start drinking, and Sue, it's like, there's this girl there who's upset with Sue for not calling her. He's like, I called you on Monday. She's like, well, who'd you talk to? Because I was home all day Monday, that kind of stuff, And Trent's like, she's pretty. Hey, Sue, you didn't tell me she was this pretty, man. How come you didn't tell me about her, man? It's gorgeous. You didn't even mention her. And then she's like, you never mentioned me? Just the usual rhetoric you hear during these bars. We've all been there. We've all been to nightclubs and gone through this shit before. Anyway, all the guys have a girl to sit with now, okay? Even Mikey, there's a girl that pulled up and sat next to Mikey. She's sitting in between Mikey and Trent, okay? And, and she introduces herself to him, said, hey, how you doing? He looks at her, smiles, shakes her hand, and then he gets up and walks away. Okay, so she doesn't really give a shit. She just turns her attention on Trent because Trent's the life of the party. Okay, everyone's paying attention to Trent. They're not paying attention to Mikey. Okay, Mikey doesn't feel comfortable. Because he's a pussy. He's not comfortable around girls. He doesn't know what to say. He feels awkward. He feels like he's unattractive. He will give up before anyone else will reject him. He'll give up before anyone will reject him. Okay, he'll quit before anyone rejects him. Okay, so he just gets up and walks away because he doesn't feel comfortable. Okay, and he goes up to the bar. Okay. He leaves because, like I said, he's a pussy, okay? Well, Trent is there, like, the life of the party. He's talking, whatever. He's like, when we played football that day, I don't remember you ever leaving long enough to make a phone call to call her. Honestly, And the other girl that's on his knee is like, huh? Oh, okay, this is what happened, okay? She's a real nice girl. Okay, like that cuts it off right there. So, like, we're about to get into a conversation. He's about to go into one of his stories, but then the movie cuts it off, all right? Because this is what he does. He loves to tell stories, okay? All right, and he's doing this to fuck with Sue, okay? Obviously, Sue did not call this girl, who's an unnamed, okay? But they're trying to make an excuse as to why he's been blowing her off until now, right? It's the kind of thing that players do. We have to come up with excuses. No, and me not so much anymore. I'm too old for that shit. But when I was younger, oh yeah, single is as single does, man. You know, I don't depend on anyone else to get me laid. I got to do it myself. Anyway, so that's going on. Trent's schmoozing the whole table. Mikey, like I said, he gets up, he walks away, he goes up to the main bar, okay, and he notices this beautiful girl sitting across the bar from him. She got red hair, red lipstick, pale skin. It's Heather Graham, okay? You know who Heather Graham is, all right? You probably remember her from Boogie Nights. I think that's her breakout movie. She also played Felicity Shagwell in the Austin Powers movies. I remember her from Lost in Space. Yes, they made a Lost in Space movie with William Hurt. She played like the oldest daughter. Okay, Matt LeBlanc was in it. Okay, Mimi Rogers was in it. Okay, and she's done a lot of stuff. I think she was actually on. There was a sitcom. It was like a Sex and the City inspired TV show where she was the lead. And I think it was on ABC. I don't remember the name of it. But I remember all the commercials for it. You know, they were on TV all the time because I used to watch Lost, that TV show Lost. And this was on the same network. So there would always be commercials for this show with Heather Graham, which is kind of like a Sex and the City. But since it's not on cable, you know, they can't get away with stuff. No cursing or nudity, that kind of thing. And she was the star of it. And the pilot episode premiered. And then there was never, ever another episode. Well, later on, I found out that the show was so bad that they canceled it after the first episode. So they never made a whole season. But I just remember they spent then why'd you spend multi-millions of dollars marketing a show that you had no intention of buying? I just remember that. I'm sure somebody got fired for that, but I remember she was the star of that and it just didn't work out. And she's also I guess she was on this show called Californication. She played a character in that. I don't know, man. The more I hear about this show, the more I'm thinking I'm gonna have to watch Californication because it's about this guy who's a writer, of course, yeah, a writer, who's this asshole to everybody. He's a jerk. He treats people like shit, treats women like shit, treats himself like shit. He's always depressed. He's always down. He's always criticizing everybody. But yet, apparently, all the hot women on the show want to fuck him. Yeah. Wow, a writer in Hollywood. Wow. See? When you're a writer in Hollywood, you don't have to fucking jerk off to porn. You just write yourself as the stud in every fucking... Write yourself, the writer trying to get a job in Hollywood. Write yourself as the stud in every episode. Right? Okay. So anyway, yeah, whatever. Anyway, but I'll watch that show if I have to, if someone wants me to. Okay? Because I'm a little curious about it, all right? So anyway, so that's going on here. He sees this hot girl. It's Heather Graham, like I said. She's got 1940s hairstyle. Really, she looks like kind of like Lana Turner. Her hair is like Lana Turner, or maybe who's that other one? Not Carol Landis, because she's more like 30s, but it's a lot like Joan Crawford a little bit, even back in the early 40s, yeah, she's got that look, okay, and a lot of the women do. They look like they're from the 40s, okay, and she's sitting there, beautiful girl. Heather Graham's a beautiful girl. So he notices her and just like he likes her. So he decides to get up and just walk over towards her, just start talking to her, and he does. He politely bumps into her. One thing I did notice about this scene is the bar is packed, okay? The bar where they filmed the scene is packed. And from what I understand, they were really filming in a real bar, okay? These were not actors. These are not extras, okay? These are real bar customers in there, okay? And they're watching Jon Favreau, who was an unknown, and Heather Graham, who was an unknown at that time, being followed around by a movie camera, okay? So when he goes up to her, he's got to bump some guys out of the way. These guys were not aware that they were in a movie, because the first thing they do when Jon Favreau pushes them aside so he can like pull up next to Heather Graham is these two guys both look at the camera. They look at him like, what the fuck, dude? And then they look at the camera and they're just like, and they go about their conversation. Okay, so that was very candid. That was very real. Okay, there were no extras. Okay, they didn't have the money to afford extras. Okay, they filmed for real in a real bar with real customers that did not know they were going to be in a movie. Okay. So anyways, I just noticed that. You'll notice that the guys that he shoves out of the way to get to her, they look right at the camera. They look at him like, what the fuck? And then they look at the camera. Okay. So anyway, he makes eye contact with her. He walks up to her, okay, and he's like, hi, I'm Mike, and she's like, oh, hi, I'm Lorraine. Oh, Lorraine, like the quiche. She's like, oh, yes, Lorraine, just like the quiche. Wow, that's how original that is. I've never heard that one before. And he's like, oh, well, You know, she's like, I thought real men didn't like quiche. He's like, oh, well, I guess my reputation precedes me then. You know, and she's like, oh, so you're not a real man? He's like, oh, well, this is a perfect opportunity to tell you how much I fucking hate myself and how much self-pity I have. So yeah, not lately. I don't feel like a man lately. That's not how you pick up a girl. So now Trent and Sue, they're at the bar. I mean, they're at the booth with their women there, okay? And they're just getting shit-faced, doing shots left and right, smoking, saying, acting all crazy and stuff, And of course, Sue and Trent, he's got his arm around them because they're not even paying attention to the girl that's sitting with him there, okay? And he's looking at Mike. He's looking at Mike and this girl that Mike's talking to at the bar, all right? He's just watching the whole interaction. He's like, hey, look, man, look, man, it's fucking on, man. No, man, look, man, it's fucking on. And she was like, it's on? Oh, yeah, it's on all right. Oh, it's so fucking on, man, it's on. Okay, so they're there. They're basically sportscasting this whole interaction between Mike and Lorraine. So Lorraine tells Mike, okay, that she left someone special. That's why she's drinking alone. Bullshit. Anyone that looks like Heather Graham would not be sitting at the bar by herself for long. Okay, this woman must have been hit on at least 5 or 6 times by this time. Okay, and you're gonna tell me out of all the guys that hit on her, the only one she found interesting or attractive would be Mike? I doubt that. I doubt that very much. That's where I got to raise the bullshit flag, all right? But I will get more into that interaction in the next video. I thank you very much for watching me as long as you have, and I'll see you soon on the next one. Bye.